Today we're looking at Microsoft's answer to the HTC Evo 4G and Motorola Droid X. This is the HTC HD7 and it brings a 4.3-inch screen, Dolby Mobile sound, and a kickstand to the table. This phone also has a 5-megapixel camera with dual LED flash and the Windows Phone 7 operating system. Does the HD7 have the balls to take on the Evo 4G or Droid X? Let's find out in this review. Right off the bat, you'll notice with the HTC HD7 that the phone is designed to look different from the concrete slab production line of plain black phones that's just kind of plaguing this market right now. We have a glossy metal frame, swanky brushed metal inlays, and the phone is just stylistically a bit more advanced than the typical smartphone out there these days. Now, for simplicity's sake, we have a power lock button, large volume control, camera button, USB terminal, and 3.5mm audio jack, though we don't have an HDMI terminal like the Evo 4G, so that's something to consider. We do get a kickstand in the back for watching movies with this phone, thanks to its generous 4.3-inch WVGA resolution capacitive touchscreen with 16 million colors. Yes, the screen resolution is fantastic. However, we noticed something very interesting that we found on the Surround, and it might be characteristic of HTC screens. In the home screens on both Windows 7 phones, while scrolling up and down, the text becomes sort of translucent and pixelated, and that's kind of a problem. It's not that easy on the eyes. Now at the bottom of the screen we have haptic feedback touch controls, back, Windows Home, and search, which is Bing. Now the battery and the SIM card hide in the back, but you have to pop the battery out in order to get to the SIM card, and you'll notice there's no micro SD card storage. That's because this phone has 16 gigabytes of built-in NAND flash, and that's just a Windows Phone 7 thing that you're going to have to deal with. Under the hood, the HTC HD7 has a 1 GHz Snapdragon processor. It has Bluetooth 2.1, Wi-Fi, an accelerometer, and gyroscope for gaming. And right off the bat, this phone comes out of the box with Netflix, so you have to sign up, of course. T-Mobile TV, which offers some free content, but that's another subscription service. And we also get Slacker Radio. And this is kind of bogus when we compare the HD7 to the HD2, which offered Megan Fox, or Transformers 1 and 2, for free right on the phone. And T-Mobile's usually good with, giving us free stuff right out of the box, but the HD7 does not offer that. So we're a little bitter about that. And of course, the core of this phone's existence revolves around its Windows Phone 7 OS, so let's give that a whirl. Here's the HD7 Windows Phone 7 experience. We can see our live icons here that update based on our notifications that we receive. Here's people. This is all of our Facebook and other accounts merged into one. And you see we could check up on what's new, recent posts, etc., and we can contact any of these contacts right from this hub. In order to use Family Room, the other parties involved need to be invited, and they all have to have Windows Phone 7 T-Mobile devices, so go figure. Family Room is just a giant ripoff. But we can write on chalkboard, we can set calendar events, make comments, and we recommend just using that thing called Facebook or email, and not buying into T-Mobile's complete marketing hype. Xbox Live here for gaming, we could create our own avatar. There's me. Here's another thing with pictures. We can see all. We could also access them from Facebook. Any account we're signed into, we can access our pictures. So, rather than having to jump into other accounts, here's our camera roll. We can just access them all in one fell swoop. Now here is music and videos, and as you can see, we were watching Stallone ripping it up on YouTube. And it gives us a history of what we've watched or listened to. Slacker and YouTube. And for Zune, we do get album art too. with the, we don't have anything loaded now, but it's very easy to cycle through music with this phone. Office is very similar to the Hotmail interface. Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We also have SharePoint and OneNote. Alrighty, here's the browser. What we like about this phone is that it has fast double tapping and zooming and fast pinch and zoom, and that's hard to find on the phone. We've seen a lot of Android phones that do it very clunkily, but unfortunately we don't get flash support on any Windows Phone 7, so that's a big negative. So here we are in our Mazda 3 testing out the accelerometer and gyroscope. Very nice. So we do get a good 3D gaming experience as well. Typically we have trouble with T-Mobile phones when it comes to call quality. However, the HTC HD7 was an exception. We rarely heard that compressed, crackling background noise that we hear on a lot of T-Mobile phones. It was only in certain environments, so this phone actually has better call quality than we're used to. For battery life, we're about mediocre. It's an average performance. You're going to need to charge it once a day, of course, which is odd for us after coming off the Nexus S, which has one of the best battery lives in the whole market. So battery life and call quality are more middle of the road with the HTC HD7. We have yet to see a Windows Phone 7 device blow us away in the camera department, and the saga continues with the HTC HD7. For some reason, this camera over-sharpens pictures significantly. Over-sharpening and any chance that dim light spills into the shot, red and blue noise at varying degrees. So the camera on this phone it's just like another camera phone. There's nothing special about the image quality. The dual LED flash comes in handy, but at times it's a little harsh, to be honest. Now this phone also takes 720p HD videos, but they might as well be standard definition because there's pretty much no difference. This is another phone that tacked on 720p specifically for the marketing ploy, and we're not buying it. We're tired of seeing phones with 720p on them when it looks like 720 POS. You know what that stands for. So the InfoSync diagnosis with the HTC HD7. Yes, the operating system is pretty. Yes, it's functional, but it caters primarily to the Windows and Microsoft user. Yes, the HD7 is an entertainment machine with its 4.3-inch screen, kickstand, and awesome sound quality. However, the HTC Evo 4G and Droid X offer the Android market with thousands upon thousands of more applications. Their OS platforms are a lot more customizable. They're a lot friendlier. T-Mobile's Family Room is a bit of a rip-off, so you just have to rely on the Windows Phone 7 experience. And that's pretty much all it is. It's Windows Phone 7 experience with a large screen and a kickstand. It's also worth noting that T-Mobile has an awesome fleet of phones, including the Nexus S. So before you settle on an HD7, check that lineup out. If you're a free agent, definitely look at the Evo 4G or Droid X before you settle on this guy. It's an acquired taste, I think, and it's a little bit bitter on our palate. For InfoSync World, I'm Mike Perlman.